Hi, Dave the Grey here, and tonight Hipster King and I have been playing this Radiant Offline Battle Arena. What did we think? Find out. Been playing Radiant, which is fairly straightforward in the grand scheme of this kind of thing, card drafting game. Now, if I was Ange the Bearded Lady, I would tell you all about the absolutely drop-dead gorgeous artwork. To be honest, I could have just sat and looked through some of these cards all night, because whoever has done the art for this has done an absolutely sterling job. Ange didn't play, probably scared of losing or something, but he would have been just going on for hours about how good this artwork is. It really is top notch. It is awesome. So the actual game itself is pretty straightforward. 3 lanes, you have 3 heroes. So I had Octavian, who's sort of like a Roman legionary sort of fella. He was my tank. I had, where is he? I had Vigo, who's just a death-dealing monster. Look at the state of that. And I had Iskandar, who was my sort of healer cleric fella. So they've all got slightly different roles to play. And basically, you have 3 lanes. You can choose which lane each hero goes in, and you can move them around. Attack your opponent's heroes or their sort of main bases. And then for each battle, you can choose whether or not to play some buff cards. So that gives you a bit of extra attack and a bit of extra shield for your character. Take too much damage, your character dies, although you can bring them back. It's quite expensive to do that, and it does you some damage long term as well. But it is quite a balance. You haven't got many cards to play with. You only draw 1 per turn unless you've got special stuff going on. So it is really a game of maintaining your hand and trying to outthink your opponent, whether they're going to go all in or whether to hold the cards back for when they're going to do a lot more good for you. Now, I've played quite a few of these sort of games before, which Pete found out to his cost, because I gave him a bit of a drubbing, to be honest with you. And it is a case of holding back, then just going all in, everything forward, and brute force and ignorance every single time. Absolutely can't fault this game. Really enjoyed it. Would happily play it again. And there's a lot of replayability with different characters and what have you as well. So no, top notch. Really enjoyed this tonight. Get a copy, join in. Over to Pete to tell you how he lost so badly.
Hipster King, aka the biggest loser this evening. So what did I think of Radiant? Losing side again. Still really enjoyed it. This one is it's a solid game, this, of a good 45 minutes probably. On our first time we were still learning it, so just over an hour to give you so it's not a kind of throwaway filler. This is a little bit more, it's a little bit thinkier than that. You've got, in some of the things Dave didn't talk about, both players have got a shop that they can go into. Basically you've got a whole load of extra additional buffs, ranging from ones that cost 3 up to some really big buffs costing about 7, that can change the whole course of your character. You can then equip that to your character. How do you gain the power to buy these with? Defeating your opponent's heroes. You get 2 power for every hero you defeat. If you've got one of the evokers, which is that kind of cleric type character, at the start of every turn he gains power to your team as well. So you're adding power throughout the game, and then you can go to the shop and use that. Now, what's this game really all about? Well, to defeat your opponent you have to defeat their deity. Now, the deity at the start of the game, that's all you see. You've got 1 deity each and it's face down. You've picked that deity to match your team, but your opponent doesn't know who's that got, who you've got. One of your actions can be to manifest your deity at any point, and you bring your deity in and lose a hero. Or the other way your deity comes in, and this is what we did most of the time, you've got your divine conduits. These are your bases. You've got 3 of these at the bottom of each. You've got 1 of these at the bottom of each of your 3 lanes. Whenever these can be attacked, either you can attack the hero in front of it, or you can attack the conduit. If you destroy the conduit, you flip it, there's an immediate bonus for the person who's defending. That can either be an attack back, or it might be a buff to your deity or whatever. Once all 3 of your conduits have been destroyed, then in comes your deity. Again, these are kind of your classic. These have got these are much more powerful. They can use ultimate. You've got some ultimate skills in your deck that cause a huge amount more damage, or give you a huge number of extra cards or extra powers to buy stuff. And in the end, it's a battle to see if you can get rid of your opponent's deity before they get rid of yours. Dave beat me this time. I'd have a good go next time. I think I've learnt a bit about how he plays. One of the really nice things, it wasn't nice to be on the receiving end of this, but Dave really chose a perfect time to team up, and he hit my deity with all 3 of his heroes, causing a huge amount of damage, nearly clearing my deity out on that one turn. And I didn't have enough left to be able to do. He had obviously left a whole load of his area then completely open for attack, but I didn't have enough cards left in my hand to deal the damage that I needed to prevent him on his next turn from cleaning out my deity. But this was an absolutely brilliant game. I really enjoyed playing it. It's a good quality thinky 2-player kind of a battle card game, and the artwork in it does look like it's one of those top. You've seen Battle Arena games, I'm sure, on all the different arcade platforms. It feels like that, but in a card game form. It was a really good game and I really enjoyed it. But yes, I lost again.
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, everybody. You're not.
Let's check the rules.
that look is going in.
Hi.
Is that mind control, Dave?
Yeah.
You've just died. If you've got less than 6 power, you're dead.
You know, yeah.